Hey guys, Be Kool-Aid here. Hey, I'm gonna give you a video. Hey, I did a interview with Chris Matthews over at Forbidden Knowledge News last night, and it was really good. I think you guys would really enjoy it. I'll leave a link to this. Okay, guys. You can see here at the top. It's Forbidden Knowledge News. I did a couple interviews over there before. I would really strongly suggest you guys go over and watch this because I talk about that Magnetopause reversal that happened back in 2012. Well, I've gotten some data in now from somebody since I posted my video. From somebody that was watching this stuff before and after 2012. And they have some of this data. And they sent it to me. Okay, they don't want me to put their name out there, so I'm not going to. But they did give me permission to share the data. So that's the whole purpose of this. Okay. Now I can tell you this, that you're going to see a lot more over there in that video I did with Chris than what I'm going to talk about tonight. And I'll eventually talk about all of it here on my channel. But it's just so much stuff that it would take a long time to get it all out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you a little taste of what it actually is, what I talked about over there. Again, and we're talking about the Magnetopause reversal. So, but anyway, please go over and check this out, guys. He does great work. Look at all of his videos. I mean, like I said, I've done 2 interviews. He's interviewed Gil Broussard along with a lot of other people. Okay, big name people here in our community. So, you won't be hurt by going over and checking it out. That's for sure. I mean, he's earned his reputation. He's got a good one. Chris does. So, he's a good, honest guy. He just wants the truth. He lets people get their opinions out. He may not always agree with me or anybody else, but he at least gives somebody a platform and a place to come talk about it and share information. So, and he's very honest. He really just wants to help get the real truth out. You can see it when you talk to this guy. Okay. I know you guys will see it too. So please go over and check it out. I mean, I can't say anything bad about it. I mean, it was just a great experience every time with Chris over there. So anyway, guys, go check that out. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about what we did talk about. I did get some of that data like I was telling you about. I'll show you a couple of those captures. This is one of them. If you guys look at the date, it says the 5th of April 2012. Okay, the one we seen before was, I believe, March 12th, 2012. So that was after. Okay, you see where I'm getting at here? This is happening more than we know. Then this is one that I got. Okay, look at this. This is the 23rd of April 2012. Okay, obviously you can see we've shown where it's the correct way, which is this way, and obviously it has flipped over there. Okay, and I guess I shouldn't say flip. It reversed. Okay, because this isn't a magnetic pole. Okay, we talk about our poles flipping. This isn't what this is. This is a magnetopause reversal, which means our shield went to the back side of the earth. Went behind us instead of in front of us. Okay, now, again, so I go look at all these tools every day, right? So I see this, and this number here, 577, that is our solar wind speed. That usually hangs around about 300. It's done in kilometers, but we could convert it to miles per hour if we wanted to. I don't know what that would convert to right off the top of my head. But yeah, that's elevated, but normally a wind speed like that wouldn't cause this kind of a disturbance. Now, why am I saying that? Well, the reason is because our magnetic field is getting weaker. And it's because the sun's getting weaker. All right? Now, I have to say, okay, what produces our magnetic shield or our magnetic field at all? Well, it is our molten core, okay? It moves. That's what actually generates the field itself. But what keeps our field strong and keeps it strong enough. And I've said this a lot. Okay, this is our, basically, I'm just going to call that our shield, okay, for term's sake here. Sun's over here. Well, if the sun is shooting these massive amounts of energy our way most of the time, which you go back 7 years and you guys look at some of these tools, and I've shown them before, you would see sunspots all over the sun. Okay, and if we go look at it today, there's not one sunspot that is Earth facing right now. Okay, it's a blank disk is what they call it. It's amazing that it looks like that. So what that does is it slowly weakens our shield because we're not absorbing that energy to keep us strong. Okay? So, over time, our shield keeps getting weaker. So it's not going to take as strong as a disturbance or as fast of a solar wind to affect us in a big way. Okay, I've used the bowling ball term before, right? You throw a heavy ball one day and it knocks it all down. You go out there and you throw a lighter ball, only knocks 9 of them down, right? Well, then you go out there with the 9-pound ball again like a year later when things have, say the pins got lighter, right? But then you knock them all down again. All right, now I know that's kind of a strange analogy, but basically we're getting weaker because the sun's getting weaker. That's the bottom line. All right, so any energy we're getting from the sun is going to affect us, or any cosmic energy from anywhere is going to affect us in a bigger way. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so, and I've used this term before. The sun actually helps protect us from the sun. So that's how it does it. If it doesn't continually give us energy to our shields, then we're just going to continually slowly weaken, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So now when we get these mediocre solar wind speeds, okay, we get a bigger reaction than what we really should be. Okay, I've seen that too, guys. I mean, that's just crazy. I start looking at these tools and I see this resource timestamp unavailable. I've seen this a couple times before, but it's been a very, very long time. What this is saying is, hey, we got technical difficulty on this one timestamp. Okay, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I would rather see that than see just time completely off of the tool. Okay, like just completely missing, like I showed you guys in my last video. So I'm going through this stuff and I start seeing, signatures like that. I'm like, what? It's kind of weird looking, right? Then I see this. The thing that struck me about this is we're not seeing very many blue lines, right? Okay, normally we would see a whole bunch like this, straight up and down. Okay, now is that excessive? No, I don't think it's excessive, but I do think it's odd. Okay, then I see this. This really grabbed my attention because of this. The blue lines, guys, is our magnetic connection to the sun and to other celestial objects. I want to know why these lines stop right here. Okay, is it connecting to something there? Probably not, because it's pretty close to the Earth. But why isn't it going ahead and connecting somewhere along the line? You see what I'm getting at? It's just really odd that it would stop right there and curve, and all of them curve in the same direction. Okay, so it's almost like something's causing that. I don't know what it could be. I really don't. But then I see this. Okay, then you see a whole bunch of these IMF lines piled up in the front. Really collapsed there. Okay, is there something pushing hard enough this way that it's kind of, I guess for any other term, kind of blocking these things from connecting how they should? So basically what I'm saying is there something maybe behind us, way behind us, maybe stronger than what we're getting from the front? So where I'm going with that is, well, if that's the case, is that kind of what we've seen with the Magnetopause reversal? Because it kind of is. Because if you look at some of these graphs before and after that happened back in 2012, some of those things were very similar to what we're seeing right now. So when I seen that missing data, I was like, man, you know, I better go check some of this other stuff out. So I showed you guys this one, right? This is back in 2012, 423. Okay. Well, this is today. Okay. This was at 1800 hours on the 26th. All right. That's a normal, kind of a normal capture there. Right. Got our shields out here. Everything's flowing this direction. Right. I mean, nothing to really write home about there. Well, then I see this. I'm like, what in the world? Seriously. Okay. Now, I showed you those pictures of the ones where it was missing the data, where it flashed that sign up. Look at the timestamp here. It's real close. Real close to that time. I'm talking within a half hour. Okay? So, it stayed like that. Now, look at this. This is odd. See how that's broken? Guys, it shouldn't do that, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, not to mention that these lines here are getting compressed so hard because they're supposed to be going out this way. Okay, because the sun's over here, right? And like I said, this is the normal picture. So why is it looking like that? And like that? This is what they look like side by side. You tell me. Does that not look at least like it's trying to reverse? It may not have reversed fully right here, but I think it almost has. And let me explain. Over here on the left, well, I tell you what, I'm going to go back to that one. This one. Easier to show you guys. Okay? Got the sun over here. So this makes perfect sense. Okay, you got your color key down here, right? The red's hot, the blue's cold. Just for that kind of terminology, we'll use that. So you got lighter oranges and yellows back here on the backside because obviously it's not taking the brunt of the hit from the sun, right? So you got the deeper reds out here in the front because that's what's hitting. That's where the energy is getting hit at, right? And it's supposed to get deflected off and around. This is actually detecting radiation is what this one is detecting on this graph here. Okay, so that's pretty normal. Well, then we look at this, okay? Remember what I said, the sun is over here. So then you got deeper red starting to move this direction. Okay? When it should be out here in the front like it's supposed to be. See that? Okay? And look at that. You can even see it better right there. Plus, you have that broken line right there. So, now, I'm going to take you back up to this. Now look at this. Side by side. It almost looks like it did that. Okay? That's just what it looks like to me. If you take these lines and you draw them out, it's like it's tilted. We see the tilt sometimes. Okay? So why couldn't it tilt when it reverses like that? Because it does. Matter of fact, I have a capture of that. And I can show it to you. Let me find it real quick. It's very similar, right? That was 2012. See it? I mean, similar stuff, guys, is what I'm trying to say. Okay? And this is just the beginning. Okay? This isn't, I mean, look at that. That's that's just the other day, guys. That was yesterday. Look at that. And again, our solar wind speeds are up a little, but they're not up crazy. Okay? I've seen it get up to like 700-800, which is, yeah, we should see a reaction. But we shouldn't be like, oh my gosh. Now, we did catch this one. Scott caught this one. That was at 1,033 kilometers. And this one here, is, which computes to 2.3 million miles an hour. Now, if you want to put some time frame on that, you can basically take 93 million miles, which is the distance from us to the sun, and divide it by 2.3. So you're roughly looking at 3 days before it gets here, which is what they... So if you go back and you look at the reports of like coronal holes 3 days ago, you're probably going to see that we had one Earth facing at that time. So that's why our solar wind speeds increased. Okay, that's how you guys can do that if you wanted to do that yourself. But, I mean, that's how they do it when they're trying to forecast, okay? But that's a total different subject. We also have to keep in mind, guys, in my last video, remember? I showed you how they, I have to say this. I didn't say this in my last video. The before pictures, okay, and the after pictures. I'm not too concerned about the actual imaging here, okay? Because what we're looking at isn't that extreme. What I'm concerned about is what's in the middle. What happened between those two that they decided they didn't want to show us. So I'm going to tell you what I think is going on. Okay? This is just my opinion. But here we go. Okay? I think that what's happening, because these befores match the befores and the afters match the afters. So I think when they see this before, they're seeing something here that's prompting them to shut it off. Because they don't want us to see what's after that. And then down here is when they think it's good enough to let us see it again. Now, they didn't think anybody was probably either watching it this close to even catch the fact that it was missing 20 minutes. Because most people would just skip over it. It wasn't missing 20 minutes, coming back up for 5 minutes, and missing 20 again, and so on and so forth. It would miss 20 minutes, and it would skip multiple hours, and then miss 20 minutes again. So it's very hard to catch. Now I know to look for it, so it won't be as hard. And I hope everybody else does too. So my concern is what's going on in between here. Okay? All along, keeping in mind that this was today. Okay? Plus the missing data picture I showed you. This thing. Okay? And it's all around the same time. 1749, 1718, 1740, does that say 49 also? This one's 49, that one's 45, okay? And then if you go look at when this happened right here, what's that say? It says 1656. Okay, so it's right around that 17, and it didn't just last one capture, it lasted for almost an hour before it went back to normal. Okay, you can look at the timestamp here, 1656, 1716, 1728. Okay, so they're seeing something, guys, and they're shutting it off, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, and I think that some of these other tools, that's why we got to keep looking at these other tools, because we're going to catch it that way. They would have to shut them all off at the exact same time, and they know that if they do that, that's going to be a red flag for everybody. If it all gets shut off at once, then you know something's up. So I don't think they can do that. That's what I'm trying to say. So anyway, guys, I wanted to bring that to you. And I will be giving you some more videos. And again, this right here is why that even happens. Okay? What causes a magnetopause reversal? Well, I explained this, and I'll explain it again. I explained it over there in Chris's video also, okay? Please go over and watch it. The Earth is here, Sun's here, we're connected, right? And then we're connected to this object. And I'm going to go over this kind of fast, because I've already went over this before. So, if we're connected to the sun and we're connected to this object, well, this object is also connected to the sun. Okay? So when all three of us line up, become one connection like that, right? Because this thing's orbiting like this. So say yesterday it was over here. Well, it gets here, and that's when we have our magnetic reversal, magnetopause reversal, because of this lining up in that specific way. Okay, that's just a basic, fast understanding of that. There's 3 magnets involved. There has to be to have this reversal. If there was only 2, it wouldn't happen. Okay, all along keeping in mind that the research that I've done, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, that this doesn't happen in any specific cycle. It takes an event for this to happen in nature. Okay, or another, like I said, another magnet getting introduced into another magnetic field. Which is why, like I said, if this thing wasn't, like I said, guys, this is the whole issue. If this thing wasn't here, there'd just be 2 magnets, right? We know what 2 magnets do when you put them together, right? They act normal. But I would challenge you guys, seriously, get you 3 magnets of whatever strength and start pushing them close to each other and orbiting around each other on a table somehow. You see how that acts, and you're going to be very surprised. Because that's exactly what's going on here. So, anyway, I will be going more into all this, guys, and like I said, but, you know, just a lot of stuff. But please, go over here and check out this video. Show him some love, guys. Please, do me a favor. Go over and show him some love. Give him some views on this one. Not to mention, it's got some, I went into a lot more deep into the data that I've received over there in this video. Okay? So, anyway, guys, I'll leave a link to the video and to his channel. It's Forbidden Knowledge News, Chris Matthews. Just go check it out. God bless. Yeshua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.